as is tradition. Okay, let me just get the timers all synced here.
So we're gonna start with the Congo cutscenes.
Ooh, and
Okay.
Hag fails the cutscene skip. It's gonna give Xafication a bit of an early lead here. So, round two. Um, both of these players came out of round one with... I actually can't remember. It's one of those things. Let me just quickly pull this up here.
What are you looking for?
Oh, I was just looking at who their previous opponents were.
Oh, yeah. Hag lost against Asmi.
Yeah, and Xafication lost against iCup in his previous round. So both of these players with a 0-1 record, but one of them is going to walk out of here today with a win under their belt. Moving up to the 1-1 part of the tournament.
Going for the risky strat.
Yeah.
So nice.
Xafication waited a really long time there before shooting his potion, and so just to make sure it was absolutely going to hit the right clone. But he's going to get a good push out of it, it looks like.
Both of them getting blue potion. Doing blue potion the optimal way in a race is very risky.
Yeah.
Because usually 50 chance the wrong clone.
Yeah. I feel like even though Xafication took a little bit longer to get his or to shoot Klungo, doing the optimal strat like that, being very close to the door is I don't know, I feel like it's a little faster. And I'm aware go.
Yeah, you're cutting out for me as well. Might be your internet.
Well, yeah, it's just streaming and having the two streams open as well. I am on a wired connection as well, so. But anyway, both players, King Jingling. I saw Xafication had a pretty okay Red House jump. Captain Motorboat, both streamers have the choice to see each other. They could have this stream open and can see where each other's at, or they could have their like opponent's stream open, but we don't know that. But they could.
They won't gain much of it, except for if they see the other one dying, so they can go for safe strats and bring it home.
Yeah. I feel for me personally in the races, I probably won't have the stream open to check my opponent's place. Just try and
Same way.
do your best. If there isn't a strat that I would go for that's like unsafe or anything like that, then I mean I probably wouldn't go for it even if I had a hefty lead.
Shoutouts to Mumbo Token for always going for the risky strats.
Yeah.
Even if it might cost him the race.
Yeah. Yeah, what we saw
having the trouble with plateau early.
Makes it up in 2 though.
Ooh, Hack almost getting hit by the Ugger. That would be really bad.
Both plateau early in 2.
third try GGM early.
Third try GGM early
Pretty
is
good.
pretty good. Hag going for his GGM early now. Little early on the YOLO jump. Oh, and he makes it in
Exactly.
two. That was a pretty fast GGM early.
They already caught up a little bit.
Yep, they're only a cutscene apart from each other. But we'll see what happens through the rest of GGM here.
The speed shoes section is definitely one of the hardest parts of the run to do optimal.
Just gonna crank your volume a little bit. There we go. What time?
Xafi got a 9. 9 is okay. Hag also gets a 9.
Double
A
nines.
12 would be optimal. So 3 seconds lost for both of them.
Yeah.
I didn't quite see
Ooh.
that Hag missed that one note and he skip one.
Did he miss the note? Or did he like go back for it?
He might have gone back for one of them.
Okay. Well, we'll see what his note count
The
is
top
later
right.
on.
So Hag didn't take it. He's gonna lose another time on the death board.
Yeah, Hag had a bit of a wonky waterfall, fall as well. Like he kind of splatted on the ground and slowly slid over. I have absolutely no idea how he managed to get up with like how he was moving on the flat ground there. But he made it work.
So next up is the detonator segment. We grab a Jiggy and also set the first part for the late cutscene board. That skips 2 hours of the run. Detonator movement always gets me.
Yeah.
It's really... It's not hard, but it's easy to mess up.
Xafication dropping a frame there. Yeah, I mean, the detonator is like, it moves the fastest when you're manually jumping it with the A button, but the detonator just kind of like, if it does its like auto jump just by holding the control stick off a ledge and you press A, you haven't jumped because you're just moving, so you get like a free jump. And sometimes it's really safe to do that just to get an extra long midair jump, but it does lose a little bit of time because it's not the optimal way to move as the detonator. But I mean, sometimes you just have to weigh that. Like if you're gonna automatically jump as the detonator and then do a and then just do a jump to avoid landing in the water or something like that, then it's
It's
definitely
definitely
worth it just to eat that, half a second just so you don't lose like 3 or 4 or 2 or 3, I mean.
It's definitely valid to do here. Yeah, Xafi did the little extra jump.
Yeah.
Around. So now we're coming up to detonation levitation, and Xafi gets it in, so...
Xafication had a really, really fast detonator levitation too.
Yeah,
Definitely
that
got
was...
in the water at just the right point.
Oh,
Hag having a little bit of
yeah.
trouble at detonator levitation though. The game didn't want to take his B input. And then he did it too slow, but looks like we finally got up there. Both players grabbing the Jiggy and they're on their way. But Xafication gained a little bit more time on Hag there as well. Or just because
that
of the
second part
fast
was really
detonator.
clean from Xafi.
extra beak bomb just to, or beak bust just to make sure Jam Jars doesn't bonk.
How much time loss is it when you miss the cutscene skip at the beginning? It's about 12 seconds. Actually, it's more in any percent because you don't come back for the fish.
Yeah,
I think it's like 15 seconds.
yeah. I thought it was like something like 14, 14 or 15.
The fish, Royston.
Yeah. Well, you see, Falcon, Royston is a fish, so. Xafication on his way to Generator Cavern now. And so is Hag.
So as it happens, you can just bear ladder with a flip flap and beak bust.
It's just the perfect height to make the ladder regrab. Hag opting to build drill. I feel like when you build drill, it makes it a little bit safer. You're up there for a little bit longer, and so you can kind of see if you're going to do a regrab.
Oh.
Xafication doing a build drill. Not in the right spot.
Good lamp jump.
Yeah. Hag right behind him, just entering Power Hut. Saw him practicing this room last night, so.
Yeah, that room is a little tricky depending on how good your TV is. Because on my TV I can barely see.
Yeah, my TV is bright enough
And
to
I
be
can't.
able to see the entire room very light, very brightly lit.
Oh no,
Oh
Safi
no.
sliding on. So the players have to go up to this third pile and shoot the fire switch from there because we don't have egg. So Hag is almost caught up now.
Yep. That slide down the slope really cost Xafication a lot of time. Who has the better PB? I believe Hagginator has the better PB.
Yeah, I think Safi has a 45.
Yeah, Hagginator's PB is a 44.37 and Xafication has a 46.29.
I think Hag got a 44-12 yesterday.
Oh, really? Okay, the
Yeah,
splits he's running against are still 37.
that's weird. Maybe
Ooh.
he's comparing against average.
Hag eats a bonk on grenade eggs, and
First spunk of the day.
like I keep saying, it's only ever the players who are behind always get the first bonk. I don't know what it is, but the game favors the lucky.
And we don't have Peachy in the chat to prevent bunks. We're coming up to the first puzzle. That looks like a bad spot.
Yeah.
Keep crisscrossing across the board.
89 puzzle from Xafication. It's gonna hurt, especially, ooh. Hag having to do one last cross puzzle piece to stick in, but finishes that one with a 91. So now we have simultaneous level opening cutscenes. Xafication confirms that his hands are freezing. Maybe it's actual cold, or maybe it's race nerves. Who knows what's going on? But he's in the lead
I'm
so
sure
far, so
Safi is from Finland. I imagine it's very cold right now in Finland.
yeah. The only time I ever went to Finland, it was October. And that was pretty cold when we went to the north. We didn't quite go like above Arctic Circle North, but it was fairly close.
Either way, you're pretty close.
Yeah.
So now we're doing Shade Snake Grove early.
Yeah. I think both these players do the flap over strat. 11 flaps AB.
Ooh, that looks kind of
Yeah.
sketchy, but he got it anyways.
Xafication managing to
Oh,
angle himself down. Ooh, and Hag takes a bonk. Oh, and instead of trying the backup, he's just opting to go back and do it again.
I
It's
always have.
ooh, and now Xafication gets a bonk. Hag needed that. It's the one thing about Jade Snake Grove early when you do it on the far right side like Hag's doing right there. I mean, uh, in the corner there, it looks like you can fit through the slot, but it's just too thin just where you're at to like kind of go through unless you have like the perfect angle. I feel like it's always a little easier to kind of angle yourself slightly down and to the left a little bit, just because the hole at the top of the door is a little bit wider on that side.
Yeah, I always angle down left as well. Oh, that Magi was on a mission.
Yeah.
Sometimes the enemies fool you. They just ignore you and don't aggro you and stop to scream at you. And you just run into them because you expect them.
I was worried about Xafication when he was running up the slope because that dart from the sput like almost hit him when he jumped on the slope. That was really close. That was a really close dart.
I don't think you can actually get hit by that dart if you just walk straight and don't do anything.
Yeah, well, if you walk at an angle to where he's going, you can't get hit. But I mean, like, if you did your first jump onto the wall and like flapped out of Talon Trot or something, then Xafication beak bombing to the second note just to not just to not tumble when he hits the ground as Hag collects his snake jiggy. Now Hag starts his beak bomb section.
Flying sections empty is pretty hard.
Yep.
Oh, he tumbles.
Yeah. Hag was definitely really flat when he went up to the top of the temple there. He used one feather, but then he like immediately beak bombed down, so I was worried he didn't have enough height. I think if you want to do that kind of strat, then you need to use two feathers and then immediately beak bomb. Otherwise, you have to wait a little bit on your first beak bomb for the height to readjust up a little bit.
I haven't figured out that beak bomb fully yet because if you sometimes the game won't let you angle down.
Yeah, well, that's
After
immediately
you,
after you use a feather.
yeah.
Like, immediately after you use a feather, you're kind of locked in this state where you're going up, unless you're already like leaning up or down.
So Hag doesn't have 5 feathers left, so he's gonna have to grab another feather nest later.
Yeah.
You need exactly 5 to
Xafication with. Did he forget the code?
Oh, he's at
Yeah, he forgot the second code. He forgot to hit star a second time. Oh,
Oh no.
Xafication with the fourth try code. Oh no.
At least it wasn't sixth try.
Hag's definitely caught up here now.
Unless he does it as
Especially if he gets first try. Nope. Okay. Xafication's a little safe, but he still lost a lot of time. And I know we were talking about the beak bombs earlier, but I just gotta say that Xafication had really, really nice flies in his run. And it looks like Hag got third try code here.
dang. I still caught up a little bit.
Yeah. So we got a fourth try code from Xafication and a third try code from Hag. So I think that's definitely the worst prison code combination that we've seen in this tournament so far.
Alright, now we're coming up to pillars. That's the last thing in the run, I'd say.
Yeah.
You can lose. I guess not really. But
The last like super technical thing before Hag 1 that you need to worry about.
yeah,
Oh my god.
that was
That
interesting.
was
Oh, that was bad.
oh my goodness. If he would have made that
It looked
last
like
pillar jump, that would have been like the most highlightable pillars I've ever seen.
yeah, it looked like he did lap. Oh, and Tag is ahead if
Yeah,
he gets this.
it's Xafication not turning his camera for that first pillar jump is definitely costing him a little bit. It looked really cool to see, but I mean, if you take a bad angle at the pillar jumps, then you're not gonna make it up. So
Oh, and he takes. Well, he's not far behind.
yeah, he's not that far behind, but Hag is definitely caught up. He's on his way to Hag had a really clean pillars as well, just kind of doing it
Mhm.
nice and easy. So I think I
I
think he
like to do the
definitely made the better
first pillar
choice.
jump. I like to do the first pillar jump in a similar way. You want to turn the camera at least a little bit.
Yeah, doing a
The first jump is the most lenient one.
yeah,
Uh,
doing a like a completely blind jump to a pillar is just I don't know. I disagree with that. I mean, it's definitely faster because you don't need to turn your camera, but I mean, if you claw your controller just right, I mean, it's a hard set of inputs, but I mean, you can make it work if you practice it, I guess.
yeah, it definitely works for me. The first jump is not the one ever.
I feel like I missed the first one like more than any of the other ones though, because it's like you have to turn your camera so much more for that one because like jumping off the boulder, then the first jump, and then it's like I don't know. I feel like I jump in the wrong direction all the time, and then try
Yeah.
and fix it. But by then, you've already failed the jump. So
The one thing that is tricky about pillars is that every one of the jumps is slightly different than the other one.
yeah,
First one is the easiest one for me. But the third one is the hardest one for me because there's just a little more lag. So it's easier to mistime your flap and beak bust.
yeah. Both the players with 88 GGM puzzles, so
Pretty
it
decent.
was pretty good.
Most exciting part of the run.
Now the Witchy World puzzle is always like really exciting for me to watch players do because Witchy World puzzle is just like the first puzzle I always just like sigh at. Like I hate doing this puzzle more than any other thing, and I mean Hag just kind of showing that off, like trying to throw in the ground pieces that all look the same. Like sometimes it's just they're the best pieces to go for, but I mean, it's just hard to recognize.
Uh, uh,
Xafication with the 80 Witchy World puzzle. Little bit of problem picking up that last piece and put in a couple things where they don't go, but
there goes so much knowledge goes into puzzles.
yeah. For new runners especially, like, and even like not new runners, like just people who haven't played the game for as long as some other people, like puzzles are always one of those things that like just take a lot of time to do, and they're really difficult to practice because unless you have a file set up specifically to just like do puzzles, then then I mean it's definitely one of those things that just it's just hard.
Yeah. Looking at the board while you put pieces in
Yeah.
takes a lot of practice.
Yeah. Looking at the board, looking at the pieces surrounding the board. Usually when I start the puzzle, and I mean not so much in any percent, this is more for like 100% when you get to the later puzzles, but looking at a bunch of pieces that split from the middle so you immediately have like some pieces to go for, like in difficult areas of the puzzle, is definitely makes a lot of the difference sometimes.
Yeah, that is pretty important for HFP and CCO.
Yeah,
I'd say.
yeah. I would say probably CCL and Cauldron Keep puzzle for people that run no DCW, just because like in CCL and Cauldron Keep, like I mean not so much Cauldron Keep, I mean more Gun Chamber I suppose, because like a
Yeah,
lot of the floor looks the same, a lot of the walls look the same. There's like a pipe that runs up the ceiling, but I mean when it's moving around the puzzle and like you just it's hard to tell exactly where it goes.
yeah.
Xafication taking a nice late reset, watching the cutscene there.
You don't wanna reset too early.
Yeah. We saw what happened yesterday with resetting too early, unfortunately. Alright, Hag just starting his Witchy World now. Not a whole lot to focus on in this section of the run. Aiming at the switch for setting up the second half of your DCW is important to do fast, but other than that, it's just kind of you run from note to note and hope Jam Jars is nice to you.
Just taking a stroll in the... And you do not want to take them this, because jam jars will give you an extra and it probably loses almost 2 seconds if you get that on the not bonk,
Yeah.
silo, because it's the most laggy one.
Yes, Bobby Bill N64 is faster for any percent.
Oh,
Oh, and
I think
Hagginator
I just
bonks.
jinxed. I just jinxed it.
Commentator curse.
Whoops.
Oh, for Dreamy. I thought Banjo Dreamy was only on N64. Alright, Hag sitting in the lip. Shoots his grenade.
Aiming fast is actually really hard
Yeah.
for that part.
I mean, the shot to hit the button is very lenient, and I've seen a couple players in the tournament have opted to climb the pole to the top of Dodgem Dome before shooting it. But,
You really don't. It's very easy.
yeah,
Just aim at the pipe on the wall
yeah.
or between the pipes.
Yeah, that was a
That's
little
not
too
the
far to
right.
the left.
That might hit the ledge.
Usually
Oh,
the visual cue I look for when I shoot is like the little flashing lights on the Saucer of Peril sign. I usually try and shoot at like the second or third one, or somewhere between them. Alright, Hag finishing up his last things left to do on Plateau before moving to Clifftop. Meanwhile, Xafication just re-enters his file.
I didn't see Safi's reset. Gogo was wondering if it's too early.
I think he had a good reset.
Yeah.
Didn't look too early to me.
The reset time is not the same as on the puzzles. On the puzzle, you want to reset 2.5 seconds. But for that reset, you only have to wait 1.5 seconds. So in JRL, there's one more thing you have to not die to. It's the swim.
Yeah. The Eels have been very lenient this tournament, I feel, so far. Not too many runners have gotten bitten.
I think Lord Fluffy got hit by the eels, but he didn't die.
Yeah.
The race against me. Oh, where is Hack? They're taking a extra scenic route.
Oh,
There's also the
before he jumped in the
octopus. You
water?
can
Or?
mess it up. I don't know. I think he was jumping into the water in Talandra, so he got way farther in.
Oh, yeah.
Looks good.
Hag with a very good octopus swim. It looked like it was going to be a little too far to the left to me, but it seemed to work just fine. Xafication into the water a little earlier, but that's usually okay.
Yeah, technically you want to dive as early as
Ooh, I
possible.
think Hag started taking damage. Oh, no, he didn't. I thought I heard the damage tick down, but he still had lots of time.
Eels look okay.
Yep.
And he made it.
Eels are fine for Hag. The eels have a problem like turning around to face you. They only kind of move forward, so if they're like coming
Yeah.
directly at you when you enter, sometimes you can go under. And Hag gets another bonk. That's
I think that's number
that's
3.
that's 3 bonks out of Hag now. Got a bonk at split up. Where was his first bonk? That was
Uh, was
Fire
it on
Eggs.
build roll? A fire X. It was early.
Yeah, it was an early bonk.
Alright, heals for Zafi. He's going for the safe option, just surfacing
Yeah.
immediately.
Alright, Hagginator on his way to Klungo 2. Both players started with the blue potion, so we'll get to see what kind of luck they get on Klungo 2. But at least with no blue potion Klungo 2, either player doesn't have to worry about. Oh, it was grenades. Okay, I knew it was either fire eggs or grenade eggs, but I thought it was fire eggs. There we go. But yeah, neither player has to worry about the hitting the wrong clone or anything like that. The only thing I could see happening wrong is if it's a green potion and they go for an optimal strat but miss the eggs, then they would have to kind of blindly shoot around the room looking for Klungo.
Oh, Hag gets the good RNG.
Hag with the green potion.
And I guess he didn't forget to grab feathers.
Yeah, I didn't see where he grabbed them, but it might have been in Jinja Village.
Probably Ginger Village, yeah.
Yeah, Xafication bonked on Grip Grab, and that was the only one.
Oh.
Hag making the egg shot work. Hag's thing in Klungo is definitely taking damage, though. Like, Hag tanks a lot of damage on Klungo potions, especially during Klungo 1.
Zafi also getting green. So both uh, runners actually get really good Congo RNG.
I mean, I
Blue
guess
green or green blue are both pretty good.
I was gonna say, actually, you do have to take a damage on Klungo 1 for, like, the optimal bit. He didn't in this run, but, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like he does it in a really weird way when I
Yeah,
watch. But I guess whatever works. Hag going for one last jam jars, and he makes it out. 3 bonks from Hag.
is that the most bugs we've had so far?
Uh, I'm not sure. I mean, 3 is definitely, like, top 5.
Someone else might have gotten 3. Alright.
Xafication having to do the walk around the silo. Accidentally activated it on top.
I've never seen that walking cutscene take so long.
Oh, and
Oh,
Xafication gets another bonk now on Clockworks. There was
it's
5.
2 bunks to 3.
Yeah, there was 5 bonks in this race between the 2 runners. Wow. Both players watching their Hag 1 cutscenes. It's funny, there's such a lead between the 2 runners. I mean, Hag's got a lot of time over Xafication, but they're still in the same cutscene. Just goes to show how long some of the cutscenes are in the game.
Alright.
Alright, Hag on his way to GGM to set up the last little bit. Well, not really set up the last little bit, but go do it. Go do the DCW.
Yeah.
Exclamation DCW.
The Hag does not do the grenade strat.
Yeah. Pretty sure Hag just shoots fire eggs with the R aiming strat. Xafication on his way into GGM now. He's going to be entering Fuel Depot right about the time Hag starts his Hag 1 fight.
As
Alright,
long as Hag doesn't die, he should have this in the bag.
yeah,
Although missing battery cycles also wastes a lot of time.
yeah. I haven't seen that many. I think there's been a few missed battery cycles so far, but um, prof Professor, what does the boss replay do for the run? Well, what the runners just did was a glitch called delayed cutscene warp. By setting up a special cutscene trigger, I suppose, by hitting the button for the UFO and resetting on that cutscene, it makes it so that the next time you enter into Fuel Depot, it sends you to the 00 location on the map of the last cutscene played, because that's how it's supposed to put you back in Witchy World after this multi-world cutscene transition. So if you have it set up in the way that the runners set it up, you can watch any cutscene in the game and then go back and enter into there to have the game warp you to the map of there. So by watching the Hag 1 cutscene in the boss replay, when you go back into your file and enter into the Fuel Depot, it puts you into the map of the real Hag 1 on your file. So it's just a nice, easy way to warp to the final boss of the game. And that saves
Or,
around 2 hours
or
finishing.
anywhere else for that matter.
Yeah.
You can also use it to warp somewhere else.
Yeah, you can warp to any location that has a cutscene attached to it. Some cutscenes in the minigame menu don't work, but most of them do.
Obviously, for the purpose of the speedrun, going to the final boss is the best way to use it.
Yeah. So Hagginator just finishing his mortar phase now. Xafication, while I was talking, I saw used a lot of grenades on his 90 to 80 phase. Like a lot. I think I saw he went down to like 11 grenades or something like that. It's just one of those things, like if you're aiming at Hag 1 and you miss, but you're doing the grenade quick shot, I mean you would have to switch back to fire eggs to reset up the quick shot, so it's just easy to it's just easy to keep firing grenade eggs and hope for the best.
Yeah.
But it looks
The
like
lag,
it
the
looks like
lag just makes it, sorry. The
sorry.
lag just makes it really hard to adjust the aim.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
Grunty firing the spells does cause a lot of it, unfortunately. Xafication is at 0 grenade eggs right now. He had just enough to finish his second mortar phase, so he's going to have to run around and collect a couple grenade egg nests. Getting into Talon Trot before getting out of the way of the lasers, taking a shocking hit. Hag's just getting ready to get into position to finish up his Hag 1 fight. I was gonna say, I really hope he runs around to the right side of the drill here for the final phase, because if you, like, the Hag 1 was at an angle to the wall, and sometimes if you have a really short angle there, it's really easy to get stuck up on the wall when you're on the final shooting phases. Like, it's very curved, and so you can't really strafe left and right, especially if you're where one of the eggs are.
So Hag's moving to the back of Hag 1 to get the second clockwork in, which isn't optimal.
It's not optimal, but it's very safe. Xafication's taking a lot of damage on Hag 1 here. I don't know if he plans on grabbing that one honeycomb that's around the back or some of the up front, but the hag one's gonna be right on top of him. It's gonna be really hard, and he's only got 2 health left, and he's gonna be at the front of hag one for the second clockwork or second battery
Ooh.
phase too.
And he didn't leave talent track, so he was turned around as well.
Ooh, that's gonna be a rough time. Hag denying the Ugger. He's almost done his fight.
But being at the front is actually the worst thing
Yeah.
you could do for the second.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Xafication misses the battery cycle. He's down to 2 health again. I think he
The
needs to run and
timings-
collect.
Yeah. So Hag is at 1 health, so he's about to finish.
Yeah. Alright, Hag finishes with a
GG.
45-57. Very, very clean end of the Hag 1 fight as well. Nothing really went super terribly wrong. And oh, see, it's another thing when you miss the battery cycle is that the Hag 1 just stops. It stops moving 100% when you're done. You don't get a cutscene or Grunty talking to you or anything like that. So he took a damage from the laser because I guess he wasn't expecting it to stop where it did.
Definitely can throw you off as well.
Yeah.
If you don't expect it.
Let's move back to some game audio happening from Xafication stream.
It's just
Feel like he was a little late on the grenade shots there. I don't know if he dropped an input or something. It looked like he
I
forgot
think
to
if you
just
don't
press
switch,
R.
if you don't switch right away, I don't think you can get the quick. Oh, he's doing that for
Ooh.
50 nowadays.
Yeah. The grenade
One
quick
health.
shot isn't great to do on that phase just because Grunny's going to shoot you twice anyway, and the grenades do lag the screen a lot. And he's at 1 health too, so...
Let's hope for
Ooh, that was so close.
Please grab some health.
Alright, he's out of the way of the Uggers, but... Can he make it? Oh my... God! Oh, he made it. Okay. Oh my goodness, that was intense. Alright, Xafication finishes the 47-41. Finishing his race. Oh my goodness, that was... Oh, I was sweating just watching that.